welcome back to the One Predator podcast.
All right, here we are. Another episode. Sorry.
Yeah. You had plenty of time to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Kind of locked up on me there. Cousin Chip's back with us.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have had an exciting week.
Yes.
A couple weeks.
Why? Yeah.
I only got 1 day in the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, and you got crap weather now.
Yeah.
But
well, hunting season started, and you guys
yes.
are like, oh, dear.
Yeah, we take a little break. We always do.
Why? What deer?
Yeah,
I didn't see any deer.
Just
because you ain't shot nothing.
We take a little break usually for deer season, and that break is over for me.
Yeah,
I am tagged out. Thank God.
Day 2.
Yeah, day 2.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm glad because I want to get back to missing coyotes. You know, what I mean? Shooting at swing and a miss. But I didn't miss them all. I got one. Yeah. I mean, I ran across the field like a gazelle to get to it, but
got it.
Yeah, surveillance. I've upped my surveillance game big time, and now I know where they go and when they go. And that one didn't even set the cameras off.
No,
I was going out to hunt solo and was adjusting my scanner, which everybody knows you got to do depending on the weather, and there was a dog up there, and the wife came out and she says, "What are you looking at?" I said, "There's a coyote up there." She says, "Oh, okay, I'll see you later." And I took off 208 yards. I can't believe I snuck up on that thing, but the wind was perfect.
Yeah,
it was just milling around there. I don't know what their attraction is with that rye field, but
got to be mice or something.
I didn't see any because I was in it, so I didn't want to, drag the thing all the way back. So, and like I put all my cold weather stuff on, and then
so now you're sweating.
I was freaking soaked when I got back here. I come in, I'm just stripping clothes, and she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I don't need all this shit tonight." It's like 46 degrees out. I don't know why I put it all on, but re-equipped with lighter clothing, went back with the truck and drug it, and then that night I ended up going to another spot of ours, get out of the truck, took my time, had a truck scanning. I see heat like across up on the road, across the big field, in one of the fingers, and I'm like, son of a bitch, that's a coyote, because it was huge.
Yeah.
So drop the e-collar. I didn't even bring it with me. I took my hand calls and it started like a freaking Indian across the field. Wind was perfect. Get all the way over to it. I'm like creeping, like trying to be quiet because my tripod's super loud, being aluminum. And I set the tripod up. I get behind the gun and I'm like, oh yeah. I look in the scanner. I can see it. I'm like, yeah, it's perfect. We're at like 200 and something yards. I'm gonna try right here. Turn the gun on, and that was the biggest fucking rabbit I've ever spot stalked. And that rabbit,
he almost shot the Easter bunny.
That son of a bitch. If there's a record for New York State rabbits, I found the bastard because it looked like a fawn out there. It was huge,
really.
And so I turn the scope on. I'm like, oh, I see the heat in my scanner. Drop my scanner. Turn my scope on. I'm like, oh, I got you, bastard. I'm going to get 2 tonight. And I turn it on, and this thing just stops and looks at me. And, like rabbits, like one eyeball.
Yeah.
And then I see the ears, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I just spent like a half an hour creeping my ass across this field aggressively.
Yeah.
It's a fucking rabbit.
Nice.
And then I turn around, scan the other side of the road. And I see a heat blob out in the middle of the field. I'm like, son of a bitch. And it's coming from where we see them all the time, where we can't hunt.
It's another rabbit.
No. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, well, screw it. Let's go. So I make a 90-degree turn and head back south. And Wind was still good, and I get all the way to it. I cross the little side road. I get down the other side, and I set the gun up, and I look, and it was a fucking owl. And I'm like, man, I'm getting out of here. And that's when I...
Look at you, with all of Christopher Robin's little friends.
So, yeah.
Did you see Piglet and Tigger?
I was... Yeah. So I... I howl one time with I pulled a rush howler out, and I howl one time, and I get coyotes to howl, but they were over on your spot down the road, and I'm like, well, son of a bitch, they're not going to come this far.
Yeah.
But I hung out there and messed around there for a while because the wind was right, and I'm like, maybe we'll get somebody talking in between that it would show up, and nobody did. And then I left there. Went to on the way home. It was like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I go past my farm, and I stopped the cow pasture, nothing there, and then I go past my parents' house, and I get to where the pond is, and I stop the truck, leave the lights on, like a moron. I get out and stand on the step board, and I pull my scanner out, and I look, and there's a fucking coyote drinking out of the pond.
Oh, get out of here.
So I was like, okay. So I just quick turned the lights off, put it in reverse, backed up, parked in the driveway, run like a fucking Indian again. Because at that point,
some exercise that night.
Yeah, I was super tired. I slept like a rock that night. So no caller, hand calls, tripod, clanging, banging away. Run down. The old man mowed the edge of the pond, so it's super short and nice and quiet. Run down the edge of the pond. Get there. Our skidder and our chipper is parked there because he was chipping some old pine up that we had. And I look, and I'm like, I can see him in my thermal, like perfect.
Yeah.
Ears, head, everything, neck, the chest. I set my gun down, set it up, look, and that's the thing. Like if you hunt with night vision, if there's trees in front of you,
Oh, toast.
it's like a fucking mirror.
Yep.
You know, it hits the IR, hits it, and it's like boing. And no matter what you do, like I tried turning it down. Now we're talking like 4 or 5 minutes. This thing sat there looking at me, and I'm like trying to move and adjust them. I couldn't get a beat on it, and then he disappeared. Boy, it pissed me off. But tonight I picked the kids up there, and my mother said something was up in the yard. She went out and take the dog out, and it took off running down over the hill. And she said it was not a deer. It was definitely, because the outside light was on,
Yeah.
it was definitely some kind of dog, whatever, fox or whatever.
Fox or coyote.
Right. And so it's there,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But I tried. I really tried.
Well, that was part of my issue last week when we went down south.
I cannot believe we didn't see nothing down there.
Well, sort of.
No, we did. You ever seen a coyote run up a fucking main highway? I mean,
For like a half hour, we watched this thing.
And then a truck comes, and I'm like, oh, we got him here. A truck's going to chase him right in the cornfield,
Push
right?
him into the field.
Fuck no. He dips off, then pops right, truck goes by, he pops right back up, down the road, he keeps coming.
So we get down there. And
I would have popped at him, but it was like 560.
yeah. So we get down there.
It was a long way.
And full moon.
Super bright.
Not a cloud in the goddamn sky.
We go out. We walked out further this time.
We were talking about it on the way down there. It's like, we're going to set up closer to the far tree line. We're going to
Where we
get
see 'em.
out. We're going to get closer to them because
Yeah.
there's a hedgerow that comes down into the field, and there's a little tree out there, which, looking on the map, it's a decent-sized tree. When you get out there, it's like a little shrub bush.
But it worked.
Yeah. So,
We piqued his interest, but I don't know. He just didn't want to.
yeah. While we're walking out, we hear them light up. Like, oh, sweet. They're here.
Yeah.
We're going to pull them. We're going to get something.
The whole way down there, we're like fucking talking ourselves up.
Yeah,
Like, we're gonna fill the truck tonight.
Yeah, we're
fresh
no.
spot,
Yeah.
big farm,
Yeah.
tons of fucking area. We're gonna
Yeah.
fill the truck tonight.
No. So
We didn't do shit.
So
It was nice that night out. It was a nice night out.
Yeah, decent wind.
Yep.
It was
Because down there it gets super fucking windy
Yeah.
in the valley.
especially if you get up on top of that hill.
Yep.
The big hill there.
Yep.
But I'm scanning. And I see this little prick of heat, like coming out of the village,
The village.
coming up the road. I'm like,
That field is like 800 yards
oh, easy.
from one end to the other. So when it's down that far, it came from down that far.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't, so I'm scanning the other way.
It looks like someone's walking up the fucking road.
Right.
I'm like, who the hell's walking out here in the dark in the middle of the night? It was like 12:30.
Yeah, 2 of you guys.
Well, the 2 of us. And it's, just a slow pace coming up the road. It looks like someone walking. I really don't pay much mind to it. Whatever. I'm scanning. Checking on it every once in a while. It's coming up further.
Yeah, like a mile.
He radios in. He goes, there's a coyote over there. I'm like, you sure it's a coyote?
I'm like, fuck yeah, that's a coyote. Either that or it's somebody's dog.
Yeah.
Because the way they move in the thermal, you can tell. Even at that distance where it's just a fucking, mine's a 384, so it's just a dot. But
at that distance, that's all I could see. Even with the 640.
yeah.
But
we worked on him for a while.
We did too. We were on that stand for well over an
Didn't
hour.
run like an Indian.
There was no cover.
So
It was super bright out.
The thought crossed my mind. About the third time he checked up, he came down. We couldn't even see him. Like when he came, the road is elevated.
Yeah.
So when if he would come down and got into the open down there, I would have cracked at him. But that way it would be safe.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to send rounds over that road.
No.
So he never did that, and about the third time he checked, he went away and come back, went away and come. I'm thinking in my mind like we should be moving.
Yeah,
right
close
now.
the distance, but
It was bright.
It was so bright. It
That
was
field, 800 yards long.
Yeah,
We could see the other end of it.
Yeah, no, it was just like just like opening day of deer season. Get settled into your blind and see these two things go running down the middle of the damn field, and I opened up the window and I hit the rush call real quick. And one of you guys already hit this dog with a rush call because this thing all of a sudden, the first dog tucked tail and it knew what was about to come.
Peace out.
And I'm sitting there, and Tony had got me I forgot to tell you, the Tasco world class.
No, yeah, you said
okay,
fogged out.
yeah.
It was all
Retired.
fogged
I
out.
looked
I
at
had to
one of them
retire
scopes
it.
today, the new ones you got. That SIG scope.
Yeah.
That he picked up, it's a deer or something. It says, I forget what it's called.
They all say like Buckmaster on them or Home Wrecker or some kind of freaking thing like
Must
that.
be a redhead if it's a home wrecker.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I looked at those today because rainy day. I was, the wife's like, let's go to the gun shop, and I'm like, who are you? And yes, ma'am. She's like, you don't have to go with me. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm going. You know what I mean? I don't care what I got to do. I'm going. You want to go to the gun shop? We going. So I looked at them there. They're nice. They're good, nice glass.
Yeah, I mean,
the SIG makes good scope.
It's super clear.
Just with the ambient moonlight. Because I like to get out there at like 5.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I like to be in my spot. That way, when everybody else walks in,
they bump
stuff.
Push them right to you.
We were well, it didn't
there.
work out like that this year. I sat there and to the point where Dad called.
Yeah.
And then I got out of the stand and I had to go down to the other farm to help him. And as soon as I got down there, all of a sudden one of the cell cams start going off, and one of my targets are walking in front of my stand. And
I would have let. I mean,
I've
what
never
time
seen
was
him
that?
ever again. 9:30 in the morning. I was like, "This is ridiculous. I shouldn't be getting out of my stand at 9:30."
No.
I'm religiously always sitting there until 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Because even
Come
if they
home,
do
eat,
get
turn
kicked
and burn.
in, well, that's it. Even when they do get kicked in, it's just like us. If somebody messes up our breakfast, well, we'll have a snack time.
Yep.
10, 11 o'clock, we'll have snack,
Yeah, I mean, my opening morning, same thing. Quiet, and a couple of shots, some does, a few spikes, a busted 4 that came from the state land.
See, you already saw more than I did.
Well, the busted 4, when they come out of the state land, they're obviously being pushed.
Oh yeah.
So you're like you get super excited. I'll get you something.
I'm sure
That
there
chair
was like
sucks.
25 people in over there.
No, there was one truck, but
Really?
they 2 guys. They brought a friggin' dog with them, and I don't know what they were bird hunting or what the hell they were doing. To each their own. They show up with a dog, and they bump out. It was legal shooting time. I see horns running across the field, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And then I look at them like, no. But I stayed super late that that morning and came home 8 turn. I was back out there by 1:30, 2 o'clock. Didn't see much after that. Spike horns. I had button buck chasing the doe in heat.
Yeah.
Like dogging this thing. like I wanted to shoot him just because he was pissing me off. I'm like, dude, you're showing up to a party and you're 2 years old. You know what I mean? Like you have nothing to bring to the table.
Yeah, maybe he was an overachiever.
Shoot for the stars.
No, I literally could have shot him 5 times, 3 times with a blowgun. That's how close he was. And I'm like, just get the like this. We got one hot doe in here. He is like dogging her around the fields, and I'm like, you can't bring anything else but you,
right?
So that was my first day. Second day, very well. I don't know, about 8 o'clock. I don't know where he even came from.
Yeah.
He was 80 yards from me.
Huh.
I was in there making a Pop-Tart, and I look out the window, and once the sun comes up to a certain height, that was when you texted me and said you turned your heater on. Well, I had finally clicked mine on, too, because it wasn't that bad that morning. And I was like,
it was that thing where I figured out how to take the
grill
guard off the little buddy heater,
use it like a grill,
over like a grill.
You can cook on
And I'm sitting there, I'm like,
we're texting back and forth. And I'm like, dude, I don't
possibilities
know.
are endless right now. I'm thinking sirloin steak and hot pockets.
Cast iron skillets, mags.
So I mean, well, I don't get that crazy. I waited. I didn't turn the heat on. I had open in the morning. You try to do as much as you. I mean, all these guys that listen to us that sit in open blinds are probably like, you guys are a bunch of fucking pussies. But call it what you want. We spent our lifetime freezing in deer blinds. We just bought hammers and nails and got fucking smart.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, so I waited to turn the heat on because we had a shit wind. It was out of the north, and it was, everything that was going on in my blind was going to blow right to them. So I was like really, really holding out, and my windows weren't frosting up, so I didn't really need it. And he just appeared out of nowhere and he was following the scent trail of a doe. I stopped him twice. He was at 80 yards when I first hit him with the scanner. Then he went out. He came around the point there. It wasn't far. It was like 95, maybe 100. But he like moved out. But like it's hard to explain. But so I give him a merk, and I get a good look at him, and I'm like, well, that's one of the target bucks. So I click the safety off, squeeze the trigger, and the gun goes click, and I'm like, what the. And I got in the stand, being a good boy. My mag was shoved up in the 06, but I never chambered it. And I was like, "Are you?" Good thing that scope don't record. I'm like, "Are you fucking?"
I kind of wish it did at this point.
So I'm like, "You dumb bastard!" So I flipped the bolt up, chamber around. He went back on his pursuing the doe. And he got out. It was 208 yards when I picked the scanner up, and he's like trucking along, not a run, but like a trot. He's at like 2-something, and then he stopped, and I didn't think he was going to stop, and he stopped at 208, and I literally just let the scanner go, and I had my rifle already up, so I just went down to it, and I smoked him.
I can't believe it because I saw you out here shooting at 100 yards.
I was worried. Oh God,
that thing was going around like a clock.
I think it was me, only because I'm so used to that Ruger now with the AccuTrigger and my old 710.
Yeah, mine doesn't have it either.
You can't adjust. So it's like pulling a V8 out with your finger. So I was like, we were shooting and I was jerking the shit out of it. It was here and there, and then it was all this stuff. We moved it a little bit that day, but I shot. He hunched up, and I was like, oh fuck, I hit him bad, because when they do that, he did the heel kick.
Yeah.
but he was quartered away from me. So it went in high and back, but it went out the front leg, blew the top of the heart. I mean, I shredded the heart to shit. And he did his spin. He laid down, and that was it. And I stayed there for a while because I had a coyote that morning.
And he had to text everybody, well, I guess I'm done for the year.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm out there. I see this nice little 8-pointer come out, and I'm getting ready to pepper. And I said, you know what? Let him go. Let him grow.
Yep. I shot.
About 20 minutes later, it walks through the brush line, and boom, 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 boom.
Well, here, it's like I was telling cousin Mike about that, And,
well, he's the one that,
right?
Hey, kid, you gotta let him go. You gotta let him grow, kid.
Right, but you all did your part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, when you're trying to manage bucks and you got people hunting around you and all that stuff, it's hard to do. And everybody's thinking the same thing you're thinking, that if I let it go, they're going to shoot it. Well, that's not the case here.
You're no.
I mean, other than the state land, I have no control over.
Right.
So, I mean, the buck that I shot is my second choice of target bucks. And I wasn't even sure because it happened so quick.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, and I made the shot and it died. I'm like, I should have looked better, but I didn't have time. He was on a doe. The rut was hot. He was going, and I got up to him and I had texted you. I'm like, big buck down, So I got up to him and I'm like, oh, it's a crooked brow. Which is fine. I am super happy with my deer.
Yeah.
I tried to Euro mount him. The fur girl said absolutely not. She wouldn't let me.
What? Why?
It's too nice.
Too nice.
She said he's beautiful and he's got good color in his face, and you're crazy and you have no choice in that.
And he's got a twinkle in his eye.
So I was like, well,
hook, line, and sinker. This one here.
Well, and you know what? You can say whatever you want. Oak-Hill taxidermy. She is super reasonable in her prices.
Yeah.
She makes it affordable so everybody can, mount their stuff and enjoy it. Because I've had a lot of people do mounts for me, predators and deer, and she's the cheapest.
Yeah.
And plus, we send a lot of fur there too.
Yes, we do.
But so she wouldn't let me Euro him, so he's getting a full amount. We don't know what. We don't know how. And what was that night? I come back and my wife was still sleeping when I got home, and my kids, they're grazing on their own, and I said, I got a buck, honey. We got, we call your mom, get her to watch the kids. We're going out this afternoon. This afternoon we go out, sit in the blind, and I took my coyote gun because I had saw that coyote.
Yeah.
And in the morning, and I was like, man, if that coyote comes back out, I'm going to try and howl this thing in. And I never saw the coyote, but I'm sitting there talking to her, and we were just talking about whatever, Christmas gifts and life.
Yeah.
And there was deer coming out in the meadow. I'm like, there's deer in the meadow, honey. Get your gun up. What do we got? Well, so we had the broken 4. We had the 2 spikes. We had the button buck that was breeding the does. And I'm like, son of a bitch. It's just the same group of deer. And and I'm not in the shooting chair. I'm in the sideline hanging out chair. And I lean back and look out the window. And the first target buck that I wanted is 80 yards from us looking right at us. And I'm like,
jeez,
don't move. And she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, he's right outside the window. Which I had no idea that there's a paw mark on that tree line. And so the one I shot, he was doing the same thing. Those two were marking that paw mark. So he had come in the sun and couldn't see him. I couldn't see him, mark the paw mark, and made his way around where I could see him, and that's when I shot him. But in the afternoon, the sun's different. The deer's there. She's super I'm more excited. The deer stand's shaking because of me. And I'm like, I got my Pulsar with me. So
Right.
let's record, shall we?
Yep.
So I was like, you got to turn your chair more. You're not, she's like, I can't get comfortable. I was listening. We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
He's looking right at us. We're going to get busted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you need to shoot this deer. I was like, shoot this deer. So she shot and missed him. And she's probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but, everybody misses. I missed a coyote last night. It happens. Right. She missed, and she just had to get readjusted. So she ended up shooting him, hitting him. He hunched up, and I'm like, oh, you got him.
No.
And he starts running away from us, and I'm like, no. So you hear, after the first shot, when she missed, the second shot, you hear in the pulsar radio, you hear the ting, because I clicked my safety off. And I was like, there ain't no way that if she pokes at this thing again, then I'm going to let it run away.
Right.
Just to be there to help her out if something happens. Because you don't shoot that much. So she fires, hits him, he hunches up. Well, I send another one at him. I shooting through trees, completely missed him. And he ended up folding up. And she shot my first choice target buck from here, and he's beautiful. Nice. And again, my wife has been hunting with me for, I don't know, 15 years. We were dating back when she started. Her first deer was a 9-pointer.
Yeah.
She was a trophy hunter out the gate. I'd be like, honey, here's a nice 5, here's a nice 7. Nope. She shoots another 9-pointer. Now, the last time she shot a deer was back then, and we're trying to think. It was like 8-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Before she shot a buck. So we're tagged out. So we're back to coyotes.
Nice.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've hunted where you're hunted. You just got to wait, man. Second, third week, they're going to come up out of there. And you're going to be like, oh, my God, where all these deer come from? I've never seen that buck before. I'm telling you.
Well, last year, last year I got the biggest buck of my life back there, and it was Thanksgiving morning.
Right. It's that border state land, too, and it's super thick. See, back when it wasn't that thick, you could get in the bottom. And, guys would come up, city guys and stuff, and God bless you, you help us out because you get dogging around in that thick stuff, and we just sitting in our fields. But,
eating Pop-Tarts. And
well, for the sake of argument, we do spend all summer maintaining this stuff while, you're boating and vacationing. Yeah. So they get in and start pushing things around, and that's when something comes out of there. But now, since we've had a hurricane, it's destroyed that lower half. You can't
keep getting those microburst winds down there.
You can't, and me and him have hunted down there since we were kids. Yep. And when was the last time we were in there? It was 4 years ago.
Oh, it was longer than that.
Was it? When me and you went in there? He's got his gun by the barrel trying to whack bushes so he could get through. It was so goddamn
it was
thick.
crazy. It was so thick that
we were crawling.
We were on our stomachs passing guns out in front of us and then climbing up to them. It was...
Well, the wind knocked everything over and the rose bushes just
But after we got through Sucker Brook, everything was fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to me about stomping through thick shit.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I talked to... that's who actually... He probably heard it. Brian, after he heard that podcast come out, he called me. He was like, so you guys find it or what?
No.
And he was like, just so you know, Brian being the teacher, and I love him for it, he's like, just so you know, when that thing circled, I'll bet you it was laying there.
I couldn't see it in the thermal.
Right, and so that's what I told him. I'm like, well, Josh couldn't see it in the thermal, and so, but we were 2-3 hours into this.
And even if I did find it, I don't know how I would have got the damn thing out of there. I would have had to backtrack. And
he's texting me right now. I'm going to text him. I keep going.
I would have had to backtrack, which was still pretty thick. Not as thick as the stuff that I went through to get out of there, but it would have been a pain in the ass to drag that thing out of there. I wasn't thinking about it at the time. I was all excited to find a coyote, track it for 800 yards in the woods.
You were out there a while, dude.
I know.
I mean, I had to shit in the field, for Christ's sake. And I walked back and got the pickup.
You have no idea how careful I was going out there.
It's not your field. I tried to tell you.
I don't care what you said. Listen,
I know where I am back there.
And we were out last night, and you said, hey, you see, there's what's-his-name's. We're going to say what's-his-name stand. He's like, you should go over there and shit by his ladder. And I'm like, you would do that? And he gave me a look.
Fuck
and
yeah.
I mean,
I saw that box behind. I was like, dude,
it
we
was
should.
pitch black. It was pitch black out. I said, you would do that to your friend?
Yeah.
And he just looked at me. I was like, just wondering what he'd do to his own cousin, you know? So I'm opening morning. I'm climbing up that ladder, and I'm like smelling my hands right up to the top, make sure I was okay.
Oh my god!
You know, I mean, it's happened to other family members.
So the night before opening morning, I forget, the wife didn't do nothing for dinner, so I called my favorite pizza joint.
Or Domino's.
No, that's my second favorite. Scally's. I don't know if he listens to us.
Versus Mark's.
Well, I never call up there, but I should, because I love Mark's too. So I called Scally's and I was like, "Listen, I want jalapeno and pepperoni pizza.
Get himself
I want tuned up
the night before.
I had cocktails with the old lady. I was like, I want garlic knots, extra garlic. So I get out there opening morning.
Just stinking.
And it's 8:00 and I'm fermenting. And thank God I was alone, because I was peeling the glue off the plywood in that stand. And I had to use my outdoor restroom at the stand, which I have this stump that is blown over, and it's got a root that sticks up, and it's a perfect toilet paper holder. So all you gotta do is you get out and you hook your toilet paper right on and you go to town. I had to use it twice, and I only hunted 2 days. So, but a goddamn garlic, man. But Scally's Pizzeria in Hudson, oh my god, it's so good. Tore my ass up between that and it was just
man. I'll tell you, the same thing happened.
And
to me
everybody's all
morning.
like, but everybody's all like scent control and everything. I had to go, so I jumped down and shit 30 yards from my tree stand in the island. Didn't care.
No, I had to piss so bad. It was like 7:30 in the morning, man. I had to go, and I didn't know Cousin Mike was going to be joining me in the tree stand next to us. You know, next field over, he can surely see. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, the windows are too high in the deer stand. I was trying to figure out the dynamics of that, how to pee out the window, you know, without pissing down the side of the stand or in the stand. And I said, I'll just go on the back deck, because my freaking deer stand's got a back deck on it.
Yeah.
So they don't care.
I go on the back deck, and I was like, well, I better look around real quick. So I grab the scanner. I'm looking around, and I see his head pop up out of a freaking deer stand.
I can't even.
I'm like, holy shit! I was like, Cousin Mike's 200 yards from me across the field.
I can't even believe he's hunting in a stand that I built. I mean, I think I was still.
Well, yeah, he texted me and said, everything all right over there, kid? Because I saw you walk out on your platform and walk back in. I was like, I got to pee, and you're right there.
I was getting
stage fright. But anyway, I told him, I was like, listen, I was like, Cousin CJ built that stand like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I said, I mean, you know, it's a good thing I'm here in case I got to call 991 or something like that.
I can't believe I texted him. So me and you were texting. Then I text Michael. I said, you all right over there? And he says, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm fine, kid. What's wrong? And I'm like, Chip said you're in my old blind, and that I can't. There must be termites holding hands on that son of a bitch. It was a pine pallet.
What he said, the pine grew into the pine tree.
Yeah, it's a pine pallet with cedar posts underneath it, and the front two. It's super high. Like Dad put it up there. Like we put it up there with the backhoe. It was super high, and it's wrapped in road fabric, and it's just got. So they don't see your head in there. Yeah. It's just got. It's actually pretty genius, because the wind was. That was before we had enclosed stands, so the wind would come across that field, and you'd freeze your fucking ass off. By 8:30, you were frozen. And so I wrapped it in road fabric with just like a 6-inch gap at the bottom.
It's pretty hard to believe how much like the road fabric blocks out thermals.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know he was in there until I seen something swirling its head around there, and I'm like, holy crap, I think somebody's in there.
Yeah, so I texted him. I said, you okay? He says, yeah, I use a rope to pull the gun up because the lure is a little soft, but... And I'm like, well, you're already in it. And that son of a bitch is up there. It's like 18 feet. It's
up there.
It's up there. We would literally put it up with forks on the back on a pallet and then put a step ladder on top of that.
Jeez.
And it's just nailed into a pine tree. But which is, I guess, I haven't looked at it, which has grown into it. That's where my wife shot her first 9-pointer.
It's pretty sketchy looking.
It's a great spot, though. It really is a great spot. Anyway,
Yeah,
so Chip hasn't seen any deer. I am tagged out.
Which is usually the other way around.
Yes, and I didn't take any doe tags this year because, and they're like giving them. I mean, they want, but the problem is what nobody understands is we had EHD so bad here by the river that these fucking deer took such a hit that they deserve. Like, I'm not shooting any does. Our doe to buck ratio is perfect right now, as of right now. And that's why we're seeing all these other bucks.
I really disagree with that.
You got more does than bucks?
I ain't got shit. Like there's nothing.
Here's the thing.
I got all excited.
I know we get out here and talk about coyotes, but here's the thing with right now we've had super dry, super clear weather.
Man, it's so nice. It's raining today.
It's raining today. It hasn't rained in what, 2 months?
2-3 months.
Firefighters out here have been so crazy busy.
Yep, we got a lot of wildfires in New York around
Which
here.
is
Last night
rare
for
smoke. Us. Yeah.
Oh, it was so gross.
Yeah, but we had that couldn't have been the same thing that was going on with you over by your house because we were down in Greenport and it was.
Yeah, it was
like,
bad.
You could taste it.
You could taste it. Was fucking terrible.
Well, I left the house to go to work last night and it's smoky.
Right.
It stinks.
It just came in, but that's what it is the weather. The jet stream was carrying the weather, and that's here now.
Yeah.
And it brought the smoke up from down south again last night when we were finishing up. I mean, you could see it in the thermals. It was fucking hazy.
Yeah, like thermals were garbage last night.
But it's been super dry. It's been super clear. We've had, super clear, like no clouds. We have had no clouds. So it doesn't matter what phase of the moon you're in. It's fucking bright out no matter what you do. So the deer, they've come, I think they're out of the rut now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's whatever. Little ones are just wrapping up in the heat. But
they're feeding and breeding at night because you could see it was so goddamn bright out. But even with a half moon.
Yeah, when you climb in your deer stand at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you can look through your scope and then see 2 coyotes running up the center of the field at 300 yards away.
Yeah,
it's bright. Yeah, no light needed.
So these deer are breeding and feeding at night because they feel comfortable. They can see.
Right.
Because deer are kind of like, everybody thinks I'm probably fucking wrong, but like I've been in the pasture with my cows at night and they can see at night, but they don't like it.
Yeah.
So they get more skittish. When it's bright out, you can walk out there and they don't give a shit because they can see you. They know what you are. They know it's me.
I think that's what that doe was blowing at last week was us.
You think so?
She
saw us.
She saw us walk in there and she was not happy about it.
Yeah, because we had nothing but possums after that.
Possums, a couple skunks.
Oh, skunks. Me and Rusty had a run-in with a skunk. He hits me. It's coming from my left. He's on the right. And it was up on the road 2 weeks ago. It was before deer season. And he goes, just so you know, skunk is 60 yards and closing fast. And he was running straight at me, the little bastard. And I look up, and I knew he was there, but I'm scanning the field, and I look hard left, and I see him, how close he was, and my readout, so he was even closer to me. And I literally pulled the handgun, clicked the flashlight on, and stopped him in his tracks. He just checked right up and looked at me, and then he turns around. I was like, if you lift your fucking tail, homie,
you get a 45.
You're going to get a 45. And he turned and left. Never sprayed me, thank God. I hate skunks. And it's been super warm, so the skunks and the possums are staying out.
Yeah, last night.
They're staying out because it's warm. Maybe now with this, I mean, I like hunting in a sweatshirt. We've done that quite a bit. It's been great.
Mosquitoes are in check?
Yeah, there's no mosquitoes, but it's warm. But the other thing is the coyotes, that's why I don't think they don't want nothing to do with the prey distress, because there's tons of fucking food out there right now. It's not cold. What do you got? You got something coming in?
No. My wife was texting me.
Uh-oh. She make me cookies?
No.
She hasn't made me cookies in a while.
Do you want some cookies?
I think you need to tell her right now that we're recording, and I said that she hasn't made me cookies in a while. They're good. Yeah, oh, man, they're good. She can bake. My wife can't. I love her, but she can't. Bread, but not cookies.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so deer season, I'm done, man. I'm back to coyotes. And I missed one last night. Laying down, walked into a spot. Look at you both on your phones, not paying attention.
Sorry, I'm trying to answer her.
Oh, yeah. Walked into a spot, me and Cousin Chip. Wind was perfect. And I'm scanning all the way in. He's seen some deer when we rolled up. I thought they were deer. I didn't see nothing. Turns out there was a coyote laying there. And I shot 102 yards. Yeah. Wah. Yeah, there it is. I really thought, and we've watched this video, so now this was last night. We're still watching this video, trying to figure out what happened. That dog was laying down, and I should have hit it right in its face, and it got up and ran away. And I have no, it was a big dog, too.
Yeah.
It was a man. I sent it to you last night. I'm like, please tell me what I did wrong here.
No, I watched the video many times.
And then I got his thermal video, and see in your buddy's video next to you, that's when you really hear the whack. And I didn't hear no whack. I was like, wow, I missed it.
I don't know. I thought the son of a bitch part was better or whatever you said when you realized.
So I fired. What the hell? And he gets up and runs away, and I'm like, fucking really? Like, no way that I just missed. And the fact that he was laying there. But that just goes to show you, it was a little over 100 yards. It was a crosswind. We walked in there. It was kind of bright that night, but we had cloud cover. It wasn't super bright. It was in and out.
Well, we were just standing there talking, and we were talking. I just happened to look through my scope and everything. I was just going to adjust the focus on the scope, and as soon as I looked through it, the freaking crosshairs were lined up with this dog. I'm like, dude, it's right in front of us. He's like, what is? I'm like, there's a freaking coyote.
So I go to my scanner. I can't see it. Well, I was looking too far out, and the son of a bitch was right in front of us.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, it's a coyote, I waited quite a bit. I thought he was going to shoot. He never did. I was like, well, fuck this.
I was trying to give you the time to close the gap on the.
Yeah, well, I missed.
Yeah.
You know, the jolly good fella.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to help a family member out.
I totally missed. And but the night before, shot one at 200 yards after I ran across the field like a gazelle.
Yeah, huffing and puffing.
Yeah, my heart was pounding.
Yep.
When I got dealing with my aluminum tripod that's super clangy, which we rectified today.
So, is that the carbon?
Yes,
it is.
It is a ball mount.
It's a ball mount. I put it in the truck already.
That's
I retired the old ones down in the basement, and I bought the Bog Infinite with the ball mount. And oh my god!
And he's such a good cousin. He called me up on the way home.
Well,
and he's like, you should go up there and buy one right now.
They're on sale.
Oh yeah,
they're on sale. What'd you pay for yours?
My carbon?
Yeah,
$250.
But you're not the ball. No. You're not the Infinite.
No.
So on like Amazon.
No, he's only got one ball.
Yeah.
He's not the Infinite ball.
So on Amazon, the Infinite ball mount is over $400. I paid $340 for it today. Black Friday sale.
Black Friday's next week.
I know, but they already started their sales up there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
If you're listening.
With your black coyote.
He ain't listening.
So
he shot a unicorn.
Oh my god. So Tony shoots a unicorn.
Yeah.
We've been trying to shoot black coyotes for years. Tony shot one, 40 some pounds, 41 pounds, beautiful dog. I took my deer heads over to the Fur Girls to get them done, and she was like, come here, you got to see this. And she opens the coyote box up, and I said, listen, if that's Tony's black coyote, I don't want to fucking see it. And she's like, why not? It's beautiful. And I'm like, listen, that son of a whatever. I've been hunting coyotes longer than him, trying to shoot a black coyote, and he shoots a unicorn. Mm-hmm. But for the record, it wasn't around here. So we went up. The wife's like, let's go to the gun shop. And we go up there today, and she goes, you know what? And it was her idea, and I give her 100% credit. She goes, we had to go to the bank, so we were up at Hanford. She goes, we should go into Dunkin' and get Tony a coffee. You know how he likes his coffee, right? And I'm like, medium hot, 3 and 3. I listen to him every morning when he calls me. He's at Dunkin' Donuts ordering coffee. So we go and get him coffee. And I walk in there with his coffee in my hand, and he goes, you're trying to get on my good side. I said, no. What I'm trying, this is a peace offering, so you stay out of Columbia County so we can actually shoot some coyotes, and you guys stay out of here. It was quite a joke, because he hunts a lot up north. But I brought him a coffee, and he was like, he was super happy. What's wrong? What is going on?
He's doing something with tripods over here.
What happened?
Well, the tripod that I was looking at is apparently no longer available.
And you just came up with that tonight in the middle of the podcast?
Well, you're talking about tripods. I figured, I'll look at the one that I've been looking at and see, price.
Which one is it?
The Nuggets.
Oh, Nuggets Night Vision.
Yeah.
It's not available no more. So what do you
No, it's gone because I had it saved like the web page on my phone. Like, so
are they sold out or what's the deal?
They just don't have them anymore.
No,
all done.
Well, just so you know, the Bog Infinite carbon fiber is on sale.
Yeah,
with the ball head.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Work's been kind of slow. And I don't really need to spend any money, but when he told me what they cost, because the wife was like, what do you want for your birthday? Because my birthday's coming up. And I was like, I want a Bog Infinite. And she goes, honey, that thing's over $400. And I'm like, yep. But I was like, you know how heavy my tripod is? She goes, yes. Yes, I know you complain about it. I was like, I want a carbon fiber.
Get this man a pillow.
Oh my God,
I'm fine. I'm fine.
But so I bought one today.
Yeah, I get a text message. It says image. I'm like, what the fuck? Can only imagine what this is.
Selfie.
In the middle of the day. And it's the tripod in the back seat. It's like, nice. You go up to guns? Yup. I go, rainy days are expensive.
Well, then he tried getting me to go up there too, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm really good today. I'm really good.
I didn't know if you had one. There you go.
He's got the carbon fiber like I do.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
I
got
didn't know if you had one, so I was trying to spread the wealth, man. Like,
right.
I know there's one
No, you were trying to spend the wealth.
I know there's one more up there, and I'm like, you guys, if you don't have one, you need to go get one.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I can't swing it right now, but.
Neither can I. Work seems to be slowing down a little bit. Getting a little worried, but I say that. And usually what happens is the next week get flooded with phone calls and work starts coming in again. But
exactly.
It's kind of nice today, waking up, picking my head up off the pillow. Oh, look, it's raining. Do I feel like going out there and getting soaked today? And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
No, I really don't. I was like, well, I don't have anything really pressing today, so we're just going to relax. Oh, boy, your jaw just hit the floor. What happened?
Oh, Vortex. The Vortex scopes. They have a tripod, carbon fiber, and a ball head.
For $10,500?
1,125.
I'll just hire a little boy to walk next to me and say, here, let me use your shoulder crack,
You got a 12-year-old.
There you go.
You gotta pay him nothing.
Yeah, that's it. He hasn't been out with us yet this year either.
No,
he went out with Boss Man and I once.
Huh?
That Vortex?
Is 1125.
Well, it's Vortex, of course it's.
Yeah. There was, I think it was was it a Fat Boy?
Yeah, but they're expensive too.
They are, but in the mount, they have a 14,000 milliamp hour battery built into it with 2 USB outputs.
So you just plug
your scope right into it.
We don't really have those problems.
No, we don't. We don't hunt that long.
If you're a Wraith guy.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get the turn on first.
There's that.
Shoo. Those things are like a... I'm not even going to say.
Well, here or there, no good. I
think it was Fat Boy.
Yeah, meanwhile, he goes, hey, you guys can go up there and buy the mini thermals right now. You know, they're only like $5,000 or whatever.
No, they're 12. What did you say, 12?
1,200.
I honestly wouldn't...
That's a 4K, right?
Yeah, and I looked through, Pierre has one, I looked through it, it's nice.
Yeah.
For what it is?
Yeah, okay. I'm just good with my thermions.
Yeah, well, you already have the night scope. You know,
it's
I'm
not
talking like
not
us.
Not a Fat Boy. What the hell was what was that thing?
I'm back now.
Okay. Welcome back.
To the One Predator podcast.
And One Predator After Dark.
We haven't had any feedback that someone would want to listen to that, so I mean.
No, we have that Brian Wilcox.
He wants to hear the After Dark?
Well, he was like, you guys had me fucking rolling.
Yeah, what did he say? He was in the gym laughing?
Yeah, we were talking about Uncle Frank's pole. And you guys got totally dirty with that, and that is not what it was supposed to be like. God rest his soul.
Yep.
Oh, man. What? We just ran out of everything to talk about.
No.
We're just...
What are you
Coyote
looking
fight.
Coyote fight?
Our coyote fight.
Oh, yeah, we made one
That
angry.
was freaking crazy.
The backyard of somebody's house, literally. We pulling him like, this
We're
is where we're
standing
hunting.
next to their camper.
Yeah.
I mean, you have permission to be there.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not like you were
No.
sneaking into someone's
No.
backyard.
No. We have permission to be there. We made him mad. Sid kicking ass. Suki Long. Then the pair that's in Rick's favorites, I think it is. I can't remember which. I played it last night.
Yep.
Then I went to Blondie Fired, and then I went to Sid Kicking Ass 3.
And that was killing a rush call at the same time.
Yeah, and he was blowing in the rabbit at the same time. And this thing got mad.
Yeah.
It was...
And started closing. He came a long way, dude.
Because he paused for a minute, and that dog was so far off that I was just
faint.
I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way. I was like, we're not pulling that thing that far.
And I kept hitting Sid Kicking Ass 3 and like pausing it just intermittently.
Yeah.
Just like it would run and boop, and then pause it, and then turn it back on, and boop, and then pause it again. Like so random. And it made this thing so mad.
It came, I bet you it came over a half mile.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because then it got to the point where all it would do is bark and yip. And
he got on his rush hour.
I got on that rush hour, man. And I just went to work with it. And these things, like anytime it would start barking, I would
cut it right off.
Cut it right off, start
Just
barking.
step on it.
This dog,
That's what you got to do.
this dog was so out of its freaking mind, pissed
Mad.
off.
And I was like, keep doing what you're doing. He says, why? What are you doing? And I just picked my tripod up.
I'm sitting there. I look over. I'm like, where the hell did he go? Because he was like
left the chat.
probably like 60 yards to my left.
Left.
You know, he was set up so he could see up this roadway, and I was set up so I could see up this other road.
Well, before the dog had started barking, we had a meow meow come in,
Like,
a domesticated meow meow. Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit! It come out of the cow pasture and popped up over the hill, and I'm like, don't move. There's one right here. And I'm looking at my thermal, and God, did it look like a bobcat, right?
Yeah.
So I click my scope on, look down. I'm like, oh no, that is a big old house cat with a tail. And I'm like, man, you were this close.
Yeah.
If I was a thermal guy, you'd have been dead. But well, that's the thing, hunting near houses like that. And I guess they don't even have any cats as pets, so we don't know whose fucking cat it was.
just showing
But
up
I
randomly.
saved his life.
Yeah.
And then he was. I was like, just keep doing what you're doing. After we got it barking, and I did the Brian thing, and just started tearing ass after it up a trail, and it was still loud, but I couldn't see it. It was a lot of brush, And I kept getting closer, and then he started to faint and get further away. Now, I don't think it smelled me. It might have heard me because I got in a fight with a tree branch that I didn't see coming. And it got... I got my tripod on my shoulder with my gun in it.
Yo.
I did the whole,
just
cradle
pick up
thing.
and
Just
run.
picked it up, put it on my shoulder, and started running. And then my gun got tied up in this tree branch. And it's clink, 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 bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, fuck.
Well, that thing. Once I finally caught up to you, I mean, we had covered.
I was running.
We had covered like 350, 400 yards.
Yeah.
And like there was a lot of ground to cover with the terrain that we were going through, because it was where people rifle hunt, and there's like they go through there with a damn lawnmower. And you're talking like a 60-inch wide path going through the brush. I don't know how they're really shooting them.
Did they ever say anything about the trail cameras?
Yes.
So I'm like,
text me the next
they have
morning.
trail cameras, right? And I'm like, well, fuck it, let's strike a pose, man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, blowing the deuces, because I see the thing flash, and I'm like, deuce.
She called me the next morning. She's like, "Good time last night," and I was like,
giving her the peace sign. I'm flexing.
She's
doing
like,
poses and shit.
"Did you guys shoot anything?" I was like, "Well, I don't. Do you guys have a cat?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Okay." Well, that almost
We
bit
did
the
not
dust.
shoot the cat.
I mean, there was that video I showed you that I think I sent you. I'm pretty sure it was a bobcat that walked off in the
So
distance.
he had something else cross.
There was no tail or anything.
We didn't know where the
so
cat went.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But that and CJ had already
I was gone.
Wi-Fi'd. And I'm like, I'm not going to shoot and have him, off in it, even though it was there was a 90-degree difference. I didn't want to be shooting.
Yeah.
And
We've been doing a lot of
Indian.
Indian stuff, like running like...
Oh, yeah.
That's all I've been doing.
We've done
Closing
that.
distance, man. Closing distance. Do you turn a rabbit on? They don't want nothing to do with it. We howl at them. They buck out.
We did that last night. As
Yeah.
soon as we got in the truck, we were right back out of the truck, right here.
Oh,
And-
we did that where you guys were last night.
Yeah.
Where you shot that one last night.
Yeah.
We're out there 45 minutes.
Yeah, we go
to
back.
Get back to the truck, and they light up.
They were close,
Are
too.
you kidding me?
And I look at him, and I was like, well, let's
So
go.
that's again
We
in
were
that
cold.
field.
We were cold that night. That's
Yeah,
what
it was
happened.
chilly.
And they
was
light up, and he looks
full
at me,
noon.
and he like Josh gives me the face, and I'm like, well, we fucking got to go out there. You know what I mean? Like, it just took all that time they had howled way off. We pulled them
So
that far.
The same thing happened to us there that night that we were down to the other spot where we got in a fight, where
Yeah.
they were there, and next thing you know, they're right in front of us, howling and going nuts, and then
They
went
tried to
quiet.
circle.
And they tried circling,
They ran right into
circling
the
our
solar
wind,
fence,
and
and they couldn't circle
well,
anymore.
I mean, that was kind of a chaotic night anyway. We get there, and I'm like, what the hell's going on with the solar fence? There was a deer trapped inside the solar fence.
Oh, yeah, it was bouncing off.
And it was running into the damn fence, and
Yeah.
I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, these solar companies, they leave the fucking gates open, go in there and check them, and then, in the middle of the day, doe or something wanders in there.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
and then it's stuck.
Yeah.
And there's, hopefully there's water. I feel really bad for them. That's the second time I've seen it. Yeah, I hope there's water and shit in there for them, because once they close the gates, they're 8-foot, 10-foot fences. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, can a deer jump it?
Well, this thing, it wasn't making it.
No.
It was running. It was
bouncing
plowing
into
it.
And what's sad about it is it was fucking frantic.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that it was like scared.
Yeah.
So it was all over the place trying to get through, and it couldn't. But it happens.
Yep, green energy, but kill everything around it. It's
yeah.
I think that's the night that the panels, those are shifting panels.
Okay.
So they follow the sunlight.
oh yeah, we were right in the middle.
Sitting there, all of a sudden the thing beeps.
Sounds like Grandma's old electric can opener on the counter.
Well, we were out there so late. It was 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
They're
Those
getting ready
things
to
had...
come back.
No, it's not the game camera. Calm down. Those
really goes
things
silent.
were starting to pivot towards where the sun's going to come up, because they know. I got bait on a bait pile, and it's raining, so everybody wants to shoot something. But that is Instagram.
So we did, after the last podcast, we went out, the three of us. We went down to the bear field.
Oh,
Yes.
that sucked.
And
Called a double.
And
7
so-
minutes.
2 doubles.
2 doubles.
Well,
Well, a double and a single, we think.
yeah.
7 minutes, bro.
So we split up. You guys stayed together in the one finger, and I went far
Yeah, far left.
left.
The wind was fucking swirling.
Oh, it was going all over.
Yeah, but
the
it
place.
always does down there to us. I don't know what it is with that.
It's probably cause
Just
it's so
the
close to
terrain.
the
the
river.
side of that mountain.
Yep.
So
Yep.
close to the river.
7 minutes in.
Yeah,
Double.
I hear double because I can't see.
You
around
couldn't
the-
see 'em, yeah.
around the trees.
And
We
that
should've
night,
fired.
that's the night I decided to go old school with the C50.
Yo,
They were far out, though. They were 300 plus.
But yeah, I'm sitting there calling range off to CJ, and I'm like, they started off at 500 to one time,
Right.
and
Yeah,
counting it in. All of a sudden, man, that dog stopped so fast. I can't believe it didn't flip over forward.
Yeah,
it just caught
Pump
the
the
wind.
brakes,
definitely
dude.
smelled us.
Pump
And
the
he's
brakes.
like, "Is it still getting closer?" I'm like, "No, that's its tail. It's running."
Yeah.
Checked up.
Those two left. You went to a fight. Do you remember which fight it was?
No,
might play-
Was
I
it that?
might
Was
play
it that
top.
weird one that sounds like a damn siren?
No,
with a dog barking
that's
at
a,
it?
That was
that's a howl.
Yeah, that's a different one. It was a fight in pup distress,
Yeah.
and came
Money.
hauling in.
This dog comes flying up from past where the other two had come from, and I'm like, "Holy shit! Here comes another one!" And did the same thing. That one got a little closer. That was 320 yards, and I thought he was going to come, but he or move in closer, but
He
he
kept
turned.
stopping and looking behind him too.
Yeah, he had somebody with him. We should have fired at that one. We called 3 dogs at that spot. Welcome home, wife. We called
Slayer.
the Buck Slayer has arrived, ladies and gentlemen.
I wouldn't say it's a slayer.
Yeah. She's like, man, this gun kicks really. I'm like, well, you're used to shooting my ARs, and
Yeah.
that's a 30 cal, but yeah.
Yeah, a little different.
I love that gun. That's a great gun. We called, anyways, back to coyotes. So we called 3 that night.
Yeah. And
Man.
I couldn't see a single one.
God damn, we should have shot. But whatever. We didn't because we'll do it again. That's all.
Yeah.
That's fine. We'll give it plenty of time.
Because we're responsible.
Yeah, well,
That's why
it's-
we didn't shoot.
yeah,
We're trying to be better.
better people.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I'm not running a semi-auto. Well, anyway, so does that work? That works for you?
That was great. Great pickup.
We've had it. Things have slowed down a
Yeah.
little.
But it always does around rifle
It
season.
just
for
does,
us,
and
for
then
us anyway.
and they're not. The coyotes just ain't responding to prey distress.
No, not at all.
And I've tried everything.
Well, yeah.
Everything, jackrabbit, every kind of bird. What? What's so
fucking
funny?
rabbit on my call.
Oh my God! Josh played this rabbit. Was last week,
Yeah, last week.
and
down
I can
south.
hear him laughing. I'm like, "What is so fucking funny?"
Dude, I'll play it for you. I got the call in the car. I'll play it. Oh my
It
god!
sounds like a rabbit that really needs some mental health. I mean, it's
this poor thing must have been dying for like 4 hours.
Oh, yeah,
when we
right,
started
right.
recording it.
Yeah, he got hit by a Volkswagen, and he was paralyzed. That's what this rabbit sounds like.
I'm dying over it.
He's
Pretty
laughing.
freaking demented.
Well, I mean,
We're
we're on
laughing
standing.
about it.
Well,
it was
laughing,
just
and
the
I'm
way
like,
that it sounded. Not that it was like.
and I
just
can
sounded
hear him through the.
dying.
He's not keying the mic. Like, I can hear him through the headset laughing. I'm like, are you laughing at this fucking rabbit sound right now? Because it's hilarious. But at the same time, I can hear you. So, but we'll have to play it for you. It's a good one.
It's a good one. When we get into prey distress season, we'll
They're just not responding. So a lot of our areas, let's face it, are pressured.
Yeah.
They're pressured from us. I mean,
People
it's just
around us.
it's just the way it is, And
I feel like this year, I don't know, if it's just in my mind, but I feel like they're more educated now.
no,
No.
You don't think
you
so?
don't think so?
No.
Because how many? Like I remember like years ago when I first started, you go out there, you throw a freaking rabbit on. Hey guys, we're right here.
Yeah, but it's different this year. It's warmer. It's
They have the food they want.
They don't
they're
need
not
it.
Looking for they're not looking for the easy food. They have what they need.
They need it. We're getting them off. Still getting them off howls and pup distress
Yeah.
and fights.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till prey distress starts because they ain't nothing better than watching them come flying in.
Yeah, just
with a rabbit
locked on.
I mean, the foxes are on point. I had to go to one of the farms we hunt, and because they were having issues with losing ducks and chickens again. And I don't know, 5 minutes in, I went there and set up and turned.
I haven't shot a
jackrabbit.
fox yet this year.
Yeah, I have. I got
Usually,
one red.
I mean, last year I had a couple or maybe even 3 of them down by now.
I got one red, and it was less than 2 minutes, and it came from. And you just know when it's a fox and it comes frolicking.
So that
in.
one spot that I hunt out in Old Chatham, the guy sent me a picture of what was left of a fox.
What was left?
What was left of. So he was hunting in his spot,
Yeah.
deer season. And he hunts behind his house, and his chickens keep disappearing. And he goes, "Do you think the fur girl wants this?" And I said, "What is it?" I didn't know what it was until I saw the tail.
What's
in
he
the picture.
shoot for deer gun?
Oh, like
7mm 08 or
It
something?
was a 300. So this thing,
I'm gonna say no.
I said to him, I was like, "Yeah, maybe she can make a napkin out of it."
Yeah, right.
I was like, "I don't know what to tell you."
loincloth.
The fox I shot was
this thing-
young but real pretty.
I told him, "Cut the tail off, and if you can pick the rest up with a shovel, go throw it in the woods."
Oh my god!
And I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, "Oh, I just figure, I'll help
Well,
her out."
mission accomplished.
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
if he's losing animals,
The bird
and
killer's dead.
right, I mean that's
Well, I know, but that was supposed to be my spot.
no,
It's his house, but it's where I hunt.
you got
predators.
robbed.
Yeah.
No, I showed up there solo on a weeknight. I was like, he was like, "You got to come here tonight." I'm like, I think I had a dentist appointment that day, and I had and I was hurting, and so I was like, "Well, I got to take some pain meds first, and then I'll come over." And I put the kids to bed, and I was like, "Oh, well, the hell with it, I'll go try." And it was a jackrabbit. I turned a jackrabbit on, try something different.
Yeah.
And it was bright that night because it's been bright for months here.
Until
Doesn't-
tonight.
Well, it's
Yeah, well, we
Last
got
night-
cloud cover. That's
Well, last
why.
night was dark too.
Yeah, it was in and out.
Yeah. Like we got on
was
the
in and
last
out.
stand, and it was like it was
Wow.
dark walking in, and all of a sudden it just
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was like less than 2 minutes. It came in. It was 100 and I don't think it was 110 yards. Smoked it.
Nice.
Done deal. And then I missed one last night. That's how I know I missed, because where I shot that thing, if I had hit that, and it
would've
must be
frozen
like
up
you
right
said,
where
I
it
must
was.
have pulled it right at the end.
I think you shaved it.
Yeah.
You shaved
I think
like
I
the
gave
side
it
of
an
its head.
ear piercing. But I didn't realize that the body, not having, my 384 wouldn't pick it up, but the body was, I thought it was straight on, and it wasn't. It was
No,
laying,
it
and
was
the body
laying.
was to the right.
And it was actually looked like it was laying in a tractor rut.
I think it was.
Because
There's-
all
I think it
I
hit
could
some
see
fucking
with
dirt.
There's some
with
deep
my
ones out
thermal,
there.
oh yeah. Well, you go running out there and
Trip.
somebody's like, "What happened? What happened?" All of a sudden, I'm like, I look up again. I was like, "Dude, we got something inbound." So
Oh my God, we start fucking running.
So we start running, not like twisting
He's
your
like,
ankle on
something's coming. So we start running, and it's full of fucking ruts.
Oh, I know.
And we're like, I'm trying to shove my scanner and the remote back in my chest bag. It was a fucking deer.
We get back to the tripods. I hear. Is it all coming?
I was like, dude, just shoot it, dude. I can't even fucking breathe right now.
No, I was like, oh,
because we ran
it's a
across
deer.
that field, down the dip, back the other side, and he was totally ahead of me the whole time. And I was like, I was like, whatever it is, just fucking shoot it, because I missed already. Now I'm out of breath. And shit ain't working for me tonight. Just shoot it, and it was
I know
a deer.
how rough that field
We
is
didn't shoot
because they haven't plowed it, I think, since last year.
No, they picked the corn off it and left it. The corn wasn't worth shit this year, so they didn't plow it.
Yeah.
They didn't plant anything, which is,
Yeah,
it blows my mind. But.
Well, their field, they can do what they
Well,
want.
yeah, I get it. It's just
I know it sucks for us. trying to
well,
plant
it does suck for us, but it's different. Like us being farmers,
Right.
And
It pains you.
yeah, it looks like shit.
Right.
That's what it is. It's like, it's like when a builder, like he does carpentry, so he knows when you finish something, you see it come from the ground up. And it's the same thing with a grass field, man.
Yeah.
The farmland that I have had fucking trees and rose bushes in it when I started with. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
And now it looks beautiful. It's perfect.
Yep.
But the amount of time and money and fuel that's gone in to get it there, and then we go to a spot like that where it has the potential to be that nice.
Where it used to be that.
Yeah.
I can remember going there when I was a kid. Freaking.
Yeah, that was operating back
8
then.
years old when it was operating farm. Go buy round bales from him.
Yep.
Just call him Stogie. He always had a freaking cigar hanging out of his mouth.
He did, Uncle Eddie, with his cigars.
You
Gnawing that
he couldn't
motherfucker.
understand when he talked.
I love talking. He drives Dad nuts, but like when I call him every year, and obviously for us to hunt, but I talk to him periodically. I'll just check in with him. I don't. He's Uncle Eddie.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one time we went to a farm auction, and him and Dad don't even talk, but they show up wearing the same goddamn shirt that day, and we're standing in the crowd. And Dad says, just go up and pick his arm up, everybody. So Dad's like bidding on their shit, and he's pointing at Eddie because they're wearing the same fucking shirt. It was the funniest fucking thing. Ever since then, like when he calls me if he needs something, I'm like, Uncle Eddie, and he's like, yeah, like, yeah. But I'll do whatever for him, but just because we've all known him since we were kids, but. He just didn't. He didn't do much farming this year, which
Well, he's got the solar fields. They're farming government profits.
Yeah, but you know what? And everybody. We're getting off topic, but everybody give him a lot of shit for that because it was a beautiful place. It still is a beautiful place.
Yep. That's locked up for the next 50 years.
Yeah, it's just locked up. But here's the thing. Here's a man. That farming in New York State is fucking hard. Okay, we don't get government subsidies. We're not big operators, so I mean they can tear me up all they want in here. I don't care. But I know this. It happens for them.
Right.
He wants to keep his land.
Yeah.
So the only way he's gonna, and he's an old man.
Yep.
So he
The only way to keep it is cover it with black trash bags and
make money off it so you can keep it. And I told him, I said, I will never, dislike you for what you did. I know why, because he did it for the right reasons.
Right.
He did it to keep, he grew up there, and he wants to stay there. But the only way he can is to sort of put fucking solar panels all over it.
Yeah.
But it sucks. But we still got one field to hunt down there.
Yeah. Yep.
We lost 2 or 3.
one
That's a
out
good
of
one.
500 or 600 acres.
It was man, that was a great spot in the beginning.
Yes.
We shot a lot of dogs down there, but we shot at one last night. And I fucking missed it.
It happens.
I just don't I just can't believe it.
I'm sorry. That was the worst miss I've seen in a long time.
And it was like, if you, we probably won't post that video, but
I should post it.
if you watch the video, I fired and it was oh so sweet. And I was like, oh, I got this, son of a bitch, you know. And I fired, and it gets up and runs away. And I was like, what? Like, am I shooting blanks out of this fucking thing? Like the night before, I shot one at 200 some yards out here after running across the field like an idiot. My heart pounding 100 million beats a minute. And then I get one at like 100 plus. It wasn't even that much. It was like 110 yards, and it was like I wasn't even there. I threw sticks at it. I don't really know what happened, but you know, whatever.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and then we get done, and I'm like, I'm done. He goes, you want to go home? I'm like, no, you're shooting from now on. Because I just fucking sucked. And I'm like, it's in your head.
He takes me to this place. He said, after he told me where we were.
The tight one, where you went swimming.
And I was just like, well, don't let me go swimming. I was like, whatever you do. Josh had a rough time here.
Yeah.
And then we called, and
we got him howling.
Yeah, back from where we just originally were.
Yeah, of course.
Because after we shot, we didn't bother calling.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't bother calling or anything. I mean,
we shot. We had flashlights on.
Once we did the what the hell was it? 300, 400 yard sprint back
I'm the
across
Indian
the field.
outlaw, like oh, you know.
I went. He gets up to his gun. He's wheezing. I grabbed the friggin' collar. I flipped the collar on. I run the collar out.
Took it out.
30, 40 yards from us.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "It's a deer." I'm like, "Oh,
yeah." Well, that coyote. Oh, excuse me. So that coyote we shot, I think it bumped the deer back to us.
Yeah.
That was a big dog.
That was a big dog.
I mean, in the
we're gonna have to give
thermal,
that place some
huge.
time. We're gonna get them.
And
that field last year produced, and it ain't.
You know what it is? I know what the problem is.
Yeah.
In past years, Josh has gone over and fertilized it. And this year, he has yet to leave a pair of gloves or socks.
No, I've
Scent
never
trap.
torn a sock off.
It was gloves.
It's gloves.
That's why I get jersey gloves from Tractor Supply. And
Oh, man. You saved my life the other night.
We were chasing another one like a bunch of fucking Indians.
The night we got in a fight with that one coyote.
Man, my hands are freezing, and I
was ready to give up, man.
He doesn't wear gloves. He don't like gloves.
I don't.
So I pull out my battery rechargeable hand warmers. I was like, here, I clicked them on, gave them to him. He's like, these things are fucking awesome. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you put them in your pockets. That way your trigger finger is always warm. Because I wear, and then I gave him a pair of jersey gloves. And it was, I mean, for the price, you get a whole huge package of them.
Yeah.
And if it's super cold, you can double and triple them up.
Yep.
But I'll just run doubles with my hand warmers.
It was cold that night.
Yeah, it was cold.
And I'm out there. When we left, it was kind of warm. It was in the 40s. But before we knew it, I'm sitting there. He's like, "Ooh, we got long johns on and two pairs of socks." It's like, I got a pair of Carhartt pants on with no insulation in them.
Yeah,
and
I wore my long.
I was like, I got a sleeve shirt on with a friggin'.
Because like we've been having these nights where it's it's super nice during the day. It's in this high 60s, 70 degrees, but by 2 a.m. when you spend 2.5 hours on one fucking stand dealing with a barking coyote, it was cold.
That was still amazing.
Yeah, we get in the truck. He goes, "Man, we ain't getting none, but that was awesome."
Yep.
It was.
Like, well,
that right
that's
there,
a good attitude to have.
It
really is.
Well, I'm usually the negative one.
Yes, you are.
But
it's a junior
just
thing.
the friggin'
Not him.
It's a junior thing.
just the experience of sitting there communicating with that dog and knowing that I am great at pissing people off. And knowing that I can piss a dog off and have a dog that angry where it wants to march to certain death just to try to get at me, it was great. Well, I don't know. If CJ was shooting at it, probably wouldn't be certain death. But
yeah, I probably would have missed it. It's just a lot of things. I want to get a chassis for my rifle, for my bolt gun, because I want to get back to a pistol grip.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have more control. I shoot better with a pistol grip. So I've been looking at chassis. So if anybody, like, what's yours? An
MDT.
Oryx.
Yes.
I like yours, but I don't like it. Okay, so like I found ones that are milled out of aluminum, so they look like an AR upper.
Yeah. Oh, mine's aluminum.
Right, but like it's slotted. It has
Yeah, I wish. Well, it has the M-lock rail.
M-lock rails all over it,
Yeah, I
like
wish I had
an
it on the
AR4.
sides.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
they're
gotcha.
completely out of stock. But
Yeah.
you can take that bolt gun, set it in that, and I can put one of my fatty pistol grips on it that I like for my my other guns. That's kind of where I'm at. If I can get something with a pistol, I think that's helped you a lot with your shots.
Yeah.
Is because it's very comfortable.
I'll never forget the first time I grabbed a hold of his gun after he put that chassis on it, and I just leaned right into it. I was like, oh,
It just
yeah.
feels good. It's natural.
It's sweet.
You know,
so
because
sweet.
with your standard,
Yeah, you're not cocking your wrist.
you're not cocked up like this. And like you can get like flatter. I feel like with a pistol grip. Because I think that's what happened last night. Is like I was so frantic and about getting my tripod set up and getting the gun in it that the tripod felt too high where I was like tippy.
Oh, your tripod wasn't even set up when I saw it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like tippy toeing, and I think that's why
Yeah.
because I wasn't where I need to be.
Yeah.
Where if I am where I need to be, they're not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when it's those rushed shots where I just drop the ball, man.
It happens.
So anyway,
You guys want to call it?
yeah, we're gonna call
good.
it. Thanks
at
for
this.
everybody for hanging out. We had a bunch of new people follow the Facebook page.
Nice.
We see you. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know what's YouTube like about maintaining.
yeah.
We should do a live. We need to do a live.
Okay. We can do that.
Yeah, live with Collins.
Yeah, well, I tried for Brian tonight, but he had a long
No, I mean
day.
just like a general people calling. We'll get our tech guy on it.
Yeah, imagine that. Then we get the people that don't like us guy hunting in there.
Well, that's fine. They can jump right on too.
We want to hear
I'm
your
really
two
good at
cents.
pissing people off.
We'll vet. We'll do a little pre-screen.
No, we got to do a live again. And Brian wants to come down. He's just dealing with a lot of things right now.
Yeah. Everyone has their own lives.
Yeah, he wanted to come down last week, but I was like, dude, it's rifle season tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And he goes out with his freaking bow and arrow.
well, it's because of that spot he was hunting. You can't rifle hunt it.
Oh.
But that's why that deer got the way
I
it
thought
did.
I kind of see Brian with a birch tree bent, with a birch branch bent with a piece of bale
Like real
twine.
turkey feathers for
Yeah,
fletchings.
yeah. He just strikes me as like a.
Oh yeah, he's crafty like
he
that.
definitely strikes me as that kind of guy.
He's crafty like-
honestly kind of surprised it
That
wasn't
deer-
a piece of stone on the end of a spear and him
Yeah,
throwing
sharp and
it.
flint.
I can see him doing it.
Fucking guy. Wait till he's sitting in the shop listening to that.
I can see him doing it. He just strikes me as that kind of.
He's
like,
in there
he's-
chipping flint off, making arrowheads.
He's like a Renaissance man. I'm telling you,
He is. He's very hands on.
definitely.
But that deer. So he put it in and we got a little group chat with him in it. He put that deer. Me and him have been talking about that deer since bow season started.
Yeah.
Because he has been on that deer and trying to get that deer. And if there's anyone that is with deer hunting, if you think you're going to go out and sit in the woods for 2 days and shoot something monstrous, you're wrong. You got to put time into it. There's learning patterns. There's tons of scouting involved. There's all that. I mean, he put a lot of time into that buck. So when he texted that he finally got it, I was like, I felt relieved. I was like, thank God. Now we can get him down here and do some coyote hunting because he has got what he needs to get, you know. But anyway.
He's got his closure.
Yeah, we got a bunch of new people following the Facebook page. Thank you. I already said that. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram and TikTok. Spotify, obviously, if you're listening to us.
Apple, Amazon, Castbox,
A bunch of them.
Yeah.
We got some feedback. Some people, a gentleman we met at the outdoor show,
Yep.
messaged me, which I think is great. I love meeting people and then they reenact with you.
Yeah.
So if you have questions,
Comments,
if
concerns.
you think we're wrong, by all means, we love a good conversation.
Yeah.
So
Argument.
yeah,
Oh, we're not
argument.
gonna-
Call
we're
it.
not gonna
Well,
Well, I don't
depends
want to
on who's
argue
there.
with nobody. I mean, just because we know more than they do, but
And here it comes.
just say here, wah, wah, hit the button. Anyway, our continued followers, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us. We're trying.
Yeah,
We're trying to get out of deer mode and back into
I'm out of
dog
deer mode. I am.
Yeah, okay. Well, Josh and I are still up, so
I would.
I'm trying to think if I'm even going to attempt or not. I don't know. We'll see what the next week or two brings.
I was so relieved when I shot my buck, and
I
then
just
my
need
wife
something for
shot
a
the
big
other one. I'm
pile.
like, yes.
Well,
Back to coyotes.
if I do go over here and get one, get ready for the phone call.
Yeah, that's
I'll
not
pay the $100 fine for the gator,
ATV.
the gator rolling through there.
Oh yeah, I ain't dragging it. They won't even know. I'll be in there with the gator getting that thing. They're in there. You gotta, it's just what is it? Just the beginning of second week, or are we at the end of first week?
Saturday.
End of
is-
first week. Yeah.
End of first week.
Yeah.
So like second, third week of rifle. I think Thanksgiving everybody gets out, and moves stuff
starts moving.
Right. I think you're
Yeah.
gonna see.
Yeah, I'll see what next.
I mean,
week
I've
brings.
been there. This year we're super blessed.
Yeah.
I watched those deer all summer on the cameras, though. So I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
Like
what
last
happens.
year Thanksgiving morning was mine.
I
guess I'm
didn't shoot nothing
I
last
guess
year.
I'm just being impatient.
Right. You think it's that cut and dry, but
Your cameras go off 30 times a day, and
well, even tonight. So all day today we've had this drizzle and rain that we haven't, had any rain in 3 months. Not one camera's fired off today.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was getting ready to get out of stand, and this Texas 11 pointer came across the field. Texas 11 pointer,
Oh, you spike.
spike horn.
In the words of Uncle Ted, if it makes you happy, shoot the spike.
And I was gonna listen. Ted Nugent, rock on, man.
Fucking Ted.
I was gonna shoot.
I'm not gonna shoot the
I was
spike,
so
Ted.
close to shooting,
It
and
would
I was
make
like,
me happy until I walked up to it, and I'm like, fuck.
yeah, shit, it's veal, man. and then I saw how
not
hard
wrong.
it was. I know I'm not
Listen.
wrong.
When I had that button buck breeding does, everything in me. I wanted to throw. I would have threw a fucking knife at that thing, because it was. I'm like, dude, that is all the deer I have here on camera all summer. You're the one,
Right.
You're the one. That's what I have to look forward to is fucking button buck. Get
I would
get
have
at it.
blasted it.
And he was a big body deer.
I would have blasted it. Would have sent the whole thing through the grinder. Freaking silver skin and all. It's so tender, nobody would have known.
No, we shot our 2 deer, and we are happy and content.
Yeah, well, good for you.
All right.
All right, boys.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, catch you on the next one.